Say Baltimore. Hello, Sugar Ray Leonard.
Hi, I'm Deborah Crable for Say Baltimore. Richard Pryor, the comedian, stepped aside on the eve of Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday, and Richard Pryor, the man, emerged to commemorate this great civil rights leader. Richard Pryor spoke before a crowd at the Department of Agriculture in Washington, D.C. When he approached the podium, he asked the question, "Why me? I'm not a civil rights activist. Why have you asked me to speak before this crowd to commemorate this great leader?" But it is Richard Pryor who used comedy to heal America's wounds caused by prejudice and racism. It is Richard Pryor who used the universal language of laughter to remind us of Dr. King's message, "We are all the same, we are all equal." During an interview with Richard Pryor, he shared some very intimate thoughts with me. Richard, as I was saying earlier, a lot of us know you as Richard Pryor, the comedian. Very seldom do we see Richard Pryor, the man, but we've seen more of him lately following your, what you said, your effort to kill yourself. Okay. But since then, you have changed somewhat. Can you explain for us a little bit what that change is and what it means to you?
You know, it's best not to say what a change is. It's something I believe that people have to feel for themselves or see for themselves. I could sit up here and procrastinate all day long about how the new me or something like that. It's not a new me. It's the me that I always was. It's just I'm more of me, and I'm more about trying to do positive things and relate to something other than things within my life. You know, I try to reach out and deal with people and their lives too. You know, try to share some of my fortune.
You do not view yourself as a political activist or civil rights leader, but yet you are here today commemorating Dr. Martin Luther King. What do you share with Dr. King?
Because of him and the people who supported him, the motion picture industry opened up enough to allow me to step into it, and because I was prepared and ready for it, I advanced myself to the position I'm in today. But without the struggle of men like Dr. Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, I wouldn't be sitting here today. It wouldn't be possible without the millions of people throughout America who gave their time and in some cases gave their life. So that's why I honor Dr. Martin Luther King. What I have in common with him is I admire his dream. And I hope that someday that it will be a reality, it can be a reality, if you raise up and look in your heart and pull yourself out of your depressions and your own self-needs. You can see it's a great world if you count your blessings.
What about in terms of your selection of the roles that you decide to accept? Do you ever think about the impact or how those roles are being perceived by the black community or the population at large?
My roles from now on will be in my own hands. I would decide definitely. My company will be doing the pictures, so I will have a larger say about what I do from now on for the rest of my life. So
that means you're going to be independent and everything produced from this point on will be Richard Pryor?
Yes.
You have a new movie that is coming out with Superman 3. You have made us buckle over and laugh through several of your previous films, and you've touched us and brought us to tears again in your latest movie, The Toy, with a message of love and humility. But there were some that say that film was somewhat controversial, that it struck a negative chord as well. Does it bother you that your performance in that film would move people in a negative manner?
You know, people have a right to have and feel what they feel, and if they feel something negative, it's because it was up there. They felt it and they saw it. And the same people who saw the positiveness, and it moved that part in them. So that was up there too, you know.
Can we talk a little bit more about your image change? Well, before we even talk about that, I understand that you also have some investments in Zimbabwe, that you're supporting some causes there. Are you supporting any other progressive movements that may not be very popular?
I don't like to talk about what I do like that. I think that's not right. Okay? I just feel, I hope I know what I'm doing, and I feel good about it. And I just feel that it's self-serving. Okay? And I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. Well, what about in terms of your political messages, period? Are you trying to evoke a message now through your comedy, one that is more political in nature as opposed to talking about humanism and life living and things that all of us can relate to?
Oh, no, I'm really not. No. I'm just the artist, doing what I move to do. If it comes out like that, everybody can interpret it different. I will always continue to do what I know how to do in my work.
How would you describe your mood today?
Oh, I feel happy. I'm happy. I'm glad to be here. My spirit feels good, and my heart's happy.
Richard, you're somewhat more quiet and soft-spoken than I would have ever imagined you to be. Is that just today, or is this Richard Pryor?
I'm like this all the time. Most people think I'm gregarious, but I never was. That's even before I tried to hurt myself, Never was like that. When I was just myself, just being myself.
What is the real story behind what happened when you hurt yourself?
I tried to kill myself, and I did it over a period of years, and finally, one day I decided to end it all. I didn't want to be here anymore. It was too painful. And that's because I wouldn't be nonviolent to myself, I guess.
You wanted to end it all? You're a man who's made significant contributions in the world of comedy, entertainment, and in terms of reaching people and making people understand about themselves, about their situations and their environments. Why would a man such as that want to end it all?
Drugs. Drugs had a large contribution. Drugs and alcohol, chemicals. And eventually you run down to a point where I felt that I'd sold my soul, and there was no reason to live anymore, to be a part of the world. I was worthless and useless. If a man had all this opportunity and all I ended up doing sitting in the house smoking a bass pipe, then God had made a mistake in choosing me to do something right and to bring about some good things. So, in order to save my very soul from going to hell, I felt I had to kill myself in order to live. To be courageous and stand up for what's right. And all of you, ladies and gentlemen, here today must believe that, or you wouldn't be here. Last night I was at dinner at Samuel Cornelius' home, him and his wife, and I thank you for that. It was very nice to be there, and there were some beautiful people. And one man in particular that I had a pleasure of speaking to was a Mr. Tim Alexander Sr., who's sitting here in the audience tonight. He's a black man who is 72 years old today, and for 50 years he has owned an insurance company, the largest black insurance company in America. And he was the man who got insurance for Dr. Martin Luther King and the people involved in the movement for their automobiles when no other insurance company in America would be involved and insure them. He went about and put his whole business on the line to guarantee that there was insurance for Dr. King and the people involved with him. Mr. Alexander some of the things you said last night made me think in my heart, and it made it easier for me to be here today. For Mr. Alexander said that because some of us have been able to shake the shackles of racism and bigotry and to rise above our so-called station and to live a better life because of the struggles of other peoples, there's one thing that we should not do, is to become overwhelmed. Because if you are black in America, you got a problem. We all have a problem. I don't give a damn about what we do, what kind of work we do. We got a problem. I know it. I know that no matter how black and African I am in my heart and soul, that there are millions of evil white men out there who control this society call me a nigger. And you and I know there are no niggers. Niggers are gone forever. Now we are free, and that brings about a responsibility. We are free to starve to death. You are free to go to work and better your condition. If you do better your condition, don't ever forget to look over your shoulder, reach out your hands, and pull someone else along with you. We need to help each other and help anybody who is helping us. We have Africa. Africa is free. Africa is liberated. They liberated themselves through armed struggle because they had to. But they are there to help us. There are 100 million black people in Africa who are waiting for us to stop saying, well, Africans don't like us. They're reaching out for us. All we got to do is tell them, we have a problem. We want your help. Any way you can help us. You know, the world is 3 billion people. 2 billion of them are people of color. So we're not alone, and we will, as Martin Luther King said, we will overcome because we will live the truth and do what is right. And I am honored to have been chosen to be here today. I hope I have done this moment well in what I have said, and I meant the things from my heart. And it's not about me, it's about me being here to say that I'll be glad when Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday is a national holiday. Thank you. Very good, very good, very good. Very good. Yes, sir.